he's just idling in his life. You know, we don't know how much he is until we see him in his home. I mean, he's literally in the kitchen, in his bathroom, eating a chicken wing, listening to baseball to escape his life. You know, and then it's reminded by his mother calling him to dinner, and he has a fiance, which we didn't even know about. And he curls his hair. He's trying to, you know, when he, I mean, there is a reason he does it, you know, because he kind of likes to be somebody else. Um, and in his mind, you know, baseball players are cool, and you know that's a very childlike thing. It's like, you know, walking around with your catcher's mitt all day long, you know, or like a cowboy hat, you know. He's sort of, that's his thing, and he meets these people who I think he's very enthralled with. I mean, he's very taken with Irving and Rosalind and that lifestyle. She takes him to Studio 54, and she changes the way he dresses, and all of a sudden he's, you know, gets very entrenched in that world. The scenes I had with Amy, you know, I've always been a massive fan of hers, and think she's one of the best. But I do have to say, again, if we do our job right, this will completely change her career because no one's seen her like this. I don't think she's ever had a role that's demanded so much, and I don't think there's been a female character so complicated in years on film. I mean, she is an incredible character, and Amy just knocked it out of the park. She knocked it out of the park. I mean, she's so sexy. Sex, like, just doesn't get sexier. So vulnerable, so haunted, so dangerous, so funny. Really, everything. You know, a great yin to Irving's yang, really. I think he's the best role he's ever had by far. First of all, he's the sexiest he's ever been in any role. And he's playing a guy who's like, he's 60 pounds more heavier than he was, or 30 or whatever, and he's, you know, got a comb over. And I guarantee you, I would challenge anybody to say that any character, Batman, American, you know, Psycho, not as sexy as this guy. I mean, Irving Rosenfeld, he create this, and it's this sort of languorous demeanor, and he's very soft spoken, and it's really kind of wonderful. I think any director who's worth their weight in gold has a unique way of working, and for David, it just happens to align very much with my own sensibilities. You know, if I ever get a chance to direct, I think I'll definitely adopt a lot of his way. You know, because I see that the dividends are huge. I mean, it's the proofs in the product, and I think he just gets great performances. And I watch on the day people shed whatever fear they have and start to come from a more honest place. And that doesn't mean that they're not still, you know, saying the lines and being the character. I mean, the characters in this movie are not like the actors who play them. You know, we're all pretty transformative in the movie by obligation. I mean, we're playing in the late 70s in a specific area of the country, and you know, the clothing, the hair, and none of that takes precedent over the emotional life. And that's the thing about David. So he's the perfect guy to make a period movie because he'll not get sort of preoccupied with the aesthetic or the artifice, and all he really cares about is the heart, and that comes right through in the movie. And because of that, you kind of believe the world. You don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's definitely such a complicated story, and there's such high stakes for all these different characters that you're introduced. And I think the key is that David introduces each character in such a way that you start to care about them. So you care what happens to each one, and as the story demands they all come together, it becomes very exciting and suspenseful. It's great cinema, I think, because it's characters you care about in a world that's very exciting, and it goes right to the core and deals with issues that everybody can deal with about identity, love, what you're willing to give up in order to get what you want, and what's real in your life and what's sort of artifice. I think having a chance to work with Christian Bale and Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner, people that I admired a lot, that was very thrilling to be on set with them every day and to sort of be in the trenches and have to show up and match them. That was incredible. I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's just sort of, and then be sort of in awe of what they were doing.